Hey guys, today the PTR notes and the PTR dropped, so this is going to have the Sylvanas and Stitches rework on it, but right now we're going to look at the Sylvanas one. So I have the PTR patch notes pulled up. So it looks like Sylvanas' health has been increased by about 125 HP. Pretty good. Health regen also increased to 3.23. But her basic attack damage was reduced. So we'll see what she has in store for us here. The Withering Fire Q. Adjusted functionality. Pressing Q once fires 5 withering arrows at the closest enemy. Before each one would have an individual charge, and you would hit them each individually. Obviously. The mana cost has been increased from 0 to 25, kind of a nerf. Damage reduced from 48 to 39, also a nerf. Range increased by actually a pretty decent margin. Cooldown is increased from 2 to 8 seconds, but I think that 2 seconds was per charge. So it ends up actually being a buff in a way, because if each charge was 2 seconds and there was 5 charges, that would be 10 seconds for the entire thing to cool down. So this is actually a slight buff. Cooldown now restores all charges, so that's good. It works like the Junkrat grenades. No longer gains charges on minion kills. That's kind of a nerf, but they're pretty much trying to move away from the specialist aspect of it. Nearby hero takedowns now refresh the cooldown of this ability. That's pretty good. That makes her team fight abilities a lot better. Fire rate reduced from 0.8188 to 0.375, so 50% slower. Thank you, Blizzard, for doing the math for us. Withering Fire cannot be cast while a previous cast of Withering Fire is still firing, so you can't overlap them, pretty much. The Shadow Dagger now has adjusted functionality. Shadow Dagger no longer spreads to nearby targets each time it does damage, so that's kind of unfortunate, actually, but it does make sense because it was kind of obnoxious before. You could just kind of throw it at something, it would just spread everywhere. So, the damage dealt by Sylvanas to the primary target of Shadow Damage spreads damage, or Dagger spreads its effect to all nearby enemies. So you still have the spreading effect, there's just a different way you have to activate it now, so that's good. It's a good way to kind of still incorporate the talents and deal with that. So the mana cost has been decreased from 75 to 50. Good. Duration increased from 2 to 2.5 seconds, which gives you more window to spread it. So that's good. Damage reduced from 37 to 29. That's going to hurt a little bit. The Banshee travel speed has been increased by 6%. Okay. This is another big one. Mind control. The cooldown has been reduced from 60 to 50. Okay. New functionality. After a 0.25 second cast, launch a missile that impacts the first enemy hero in its path. Impacted heroes are silenced, slowed by 30%, and forced to walk towards Sylvanas for 1.75 seconds. So what they've done, they've taken the channel where you have to pretty much plant yourself, make yourself vulnerable, and you can control the ally or the enemy hero. You have to now launch a skill shot, and it's actually a really quick skill shot. I thought it was going to be a lot longer, but honestly, it's not even that bad. And they walk towards you. So, alright. I mean, you don't have to make yourself vulnerable anymore, so that's good. Her trait has been changed. New functionality. Activate to cause all basic attacks and abilities to stun minions, mercenaries, and structures for 3 seconds over the next 10 seconds with a 40-second cooldown. This is pretty big because since she's been in the game, her auto attacks have at least made buildings, pretty much her trait would make buildings and everything just cease, stop where they're at, do whatever, except for like bosses and hero spawns and stuff. But a couple patches ago, they changed how Sylvanas' trait worked. They made it so that her abilities could no longer turn off buildings. They tried to make it so that she would put herself in more vulnerable situations by having to auto attack and not have the abilities turn off the buildings for her. And right then and there, I knew it. I'm like, Sylvanas is getting a rework because she had like no identity almost at that point. So this is pretty big. The new passive functionality, Banshee Curse. Basic attacks infect enemies with Banshee's Curse for 3 seconds. Sylvanas deals 25% bonus damage to enemies with 3 stacks of Banshee Curse. So pretty much, you stack up the Banshee Curse by auto-attacking. You can have multiple out at a time, as long as you can uptake it, or like manage your stacks. You can have multiple out. It's pretty good. Okay, we're going to look at some talents now. Overflowing Quiver. Removed. Dreadful Wake. Removed. Overwhelming Affliction, which is part of her trait, moved from level 16, adjusted functionality. Enemy heroes with 3 stacks of Banshee's Curse are slowed by 15%, and basic attacks against slowed enemy heroes deal 1% of their maximum health and damage. That's pretty fucking good. Like, for a level 1 talent, you pretty much get a giant killer. That's pretty fucking good. New talent, Unfurling Shadows quest. Each time Shadow Dagger deals damage to an enemy hero with 3 stacks of Banshee Curse, increases its damage by 0.5%. This talent, I've played with it a little bit already on the PTR. It's actually not that bad. It's actually pretty good. New talent, Banshee's Curse. Hitting an enemy hero with Withering Fire increases Sylvanas' attack speed and ability power by 5% for 6 seconds, stacking up to 5 times. That talent's also pretty good, honestly. I kind of dabbled with all of the talents a little bit already, so try to keep this video down to a minimum. Level 4, With the Wind, gone. Merc Queen, moved from level 1. Adjusted functionality, friendly, non-elite mercenaries near Sylvanas deal 60% more damage. Sylvanas stuns and deals 30% additional damage to mercenaries with 3 stacks of Banshee's Curse. Okay, that's pretty good. Possession, active, moved from level 7, so you get Possession at 4 now. Now requires 3 charges to be used on catapults. That's huge. That's a nerf, a way big nerf. Because before it was 1. So that's... J-How's not going to be super happy with that. I know he loves that build. Unstable Poison, moved from level 7. Damage increased from 116 to 130. Now triggers on enemy minions who are affected by Banshee's Curse, Black Arrows, or Shadow Dagger, and the radius increased from 2 to 2.5 seconds. Not sure what Unstable Poison does. I'd have to look at it. Honestly, it was a talent I never even took, I don't think. Level 7, Barb Shot, new functionality. Hitting the same enemy hero with 5 shots of Withering Fire causes the last shot to deal 350% bonus damage. Really good in 1v1 since the Barb Shot, I think, prioritizes heroes. I'm pretty sure. We'll have to look at that here in a minute. Lost Soul, moved from level 4. Adjusted functionality. Reduced Shadow Dagger's cooldown by 1.75 seconds each time Sylvanas uses a basic attack on an enemy hero with 3 stacks of Banshee's Curse. That's actually really good. If you kind of go like this build with that level 1, pretty solid. New talent, Festering Wounds. Haunting Wave deals 25% more damage and applies 3 stacks of Banshee's Curse. Honestly, that's probably the weakest one on that whole tier. I mean, you're almost never using your Banshee Wave to engage or do damage. You're mostly using it to escape or secure kills, and I could see where the damage would come in handy for that. But, Level 13, Cold Embrace, moved from level 16. Duration increased from 2 to 2.5 seconds. Now also reduces the armor of targets that Shadow Dagger spreads by 10. Okay, so that got buffed. That's good. That's the one where you throw your knife at them. Your Shadow Dagger, or yeah, that's what it's called. The Shadow Dagger, and it reduces the enemy's armor. So, excellent. Spell Shield, removed. Remorseless, which is her trait, moved from level 16, new functionality. Increased Sylvanas' basic attack range by 1. Okay. Basic attacks against enemy heroes with 3 stacks of Banshee's Curse fire an untaunted shot of Withering Fire. This shot applies Banshee's Curse. Okay, that doesn't sound very good. Windrunner, E. Adjusted functionality. Teleporting with Haunting Wave resets the cooldown of Withering Fire. and Haunting Wave can be cast a second time for free within 5 seconds after teleporting. So it's pretty much the same. I mean, before you would get all your charges back. So this is, you're just getting the cooldown reset. Okay. Level 16 Life Drain moved from level 13. New functionality. Dealing damage to enemies with 3 stacks of Banshee's Curse. Heals Sylvanas for 15% of the damage dealt, doubled against heroes. Okay. Evasive Fire. Adjusted functionality. Hitting enemies with Withering Fire grants Sylvanas 6% bonus movement speed for 2 seconds. Stacking up to 30%. Basic attacks refresh this duration. Okay, that's not too bad. It's not great. Will of the Forsaken moved from level 13, which is her Unstoppable. I still think that's probably going to be the go-to, but we'll see. Level 20, Dark Lady's Call. New functionality. Reduce the cooldown of Mind Control by 30 seconds. Heroes hit by Mind Control have their vision greatly reduced for 5 seconds. Okay, that's a... I mean, it makes her ult into a 20-second cooldown, so you got a 20-second, 1.75 second stun, pretty much. And that's fine. Withering Barrage. Moved from level 4, new functionality. Hitting an enemy hero with Withering Fire decreases its cooldown by 0.75 seconds. Okay. Not too shabby, actually. So, let's take a look at what the game has for us. This is Sylvanas' new skin tint for her Sugar Plum Fairy skin. Let's go ahead and set the level. I usually just set it about 20 because that gives you all your talents, lets you see what you can do. Alright, so with this rework, they've opened up Sylvanas' build variety, in my opinion. You can actually kind of do a lot of things. So we'll read through these talents. Hitting an enemy hero with Withering Fire increases the attack speed. Okay, we read that. That's the quest I was talking about, and the Overwhelming Affliction is the one that I think is going to be the best one. So we're going to grab Overwhelming Affliction. I still think Merc Queen is going to be the best here. Unstable Poison's the one that makes it explode. Okay. I think Merc Queen's still the best option here. This one is pretty situational. Now that you have to have 3 to take catapults, that one's still not great. It used to be pretty good. Now it's not so good. So we're going to grab Merc Queen. Let's see. Barb Shot. Withering Fire deals bonus damage. I think the basic attacks... No. I think actually for this build, this would be the best one. Hitting the same enemy with 5 shots, because you kind of are going to be close to them.
Choose a talent.
We're going to go Mind Control, of course. This one, for this build, I still think Windrunner is the best, because you can get the reset on this.
Choose a talent.
Honestly, all these talents can be very good. Let's see. Maybe I will go for the Evasive Fire. No, yeah. For this build we will. And then for this we might get the Withering Barrage. So let's see what we can do to this Arthas. So, as you can see, let's show off the Mind Control. See if I can get it on him. Just, oops. So that's how it works now. You can kind of drag him back to you. Pretty good. You can see the trait being stacked up right there. He has 3 stacks. So we are doing 1% of his health per auto attack and bonus damage, along with critting him. So, as you can see, the trait doesn't turn off the minions anymore. You actually have to toggle it with the D key. So if we do that, we can hit D, and all of the minions and everything will be good to go. So, let's see, you can actually... It's got a pretty big range on it, the Q that is. I do like that, because he can kind of be over there. Does it prioritize here? Yeah, it still prioritizes heroes, that's good. Let's see if we can get him to come out and play. Malfurion, you're scaring him. You're scaring him, Malfurion. So, oh, look at that range, though. Is that gonna kill him? I don't think it will. But this is one build I think that Sylvanas is gonna be pretty good with. Let's go down here.
Enemy slain.
So I think 3 stacks of these guys, yeah, it'll turn them off, just how like your trait used to. So as long as you manage it, kind of like how Malthael's Reaper's Mark work, you can manage that. Yeah, I kind of dropped it there, so no big deal. So she clears camps pretty easily still. Not too bad. Let's see if we can get... Let's turn off our little bot friend here.
I'm here.
Arthas, you're cheating. Okay, we're gonna toggle the minions off. We're gonna give you like a Warcraft 3 fight here. So, what you're gonna want to do is you want to get those 3 stacks on him as soon as possible. You can kind of do this. Kind of shred his health. And we're definitely getting that bonus damage. It's pretty good damage. It's not honestly not too bad.
Done.
So, let's check out another build. Reset talents. So the other build I was looking at was actually the Shadow Dagger build. So the Unfurling Shadows. So you start off with that. You'll probably want to go back into Merc Queen, just because it's the best talent I think on that tier still. We are going to go for the Lost Soul. Basic attacks against heroes with 3 stacks of Banshee's Curse. Reduce the cooldown of Shadow Dagger by 1.75 seconds. It's on an 11-second cooldown, so pretty much every auto attack you're almost taking it 2 seconds off, which is ridiculous.
Choose a talent.
Mind control, of course. The armor.
Choose a talent.
We'll probably get the life drain here.
Choose a talent.
And honestly, all these talents are pretty good. We'll get this one.
Very well.
So with your level 1 quest, each time an enemy hero with 3 stacks of Banshee's Curse is hit by Shadow Dagger, its damage is permanently increased by 0.5%. There is almost no cap on this. There is a cap. It's 9,001, but you're never going to get there. And I'll show you guys why here in a little bit. But let's go out here. Let's see. Let's go find our friend. So, the same premise. You want to get the 3 stacks. So once you get those 3 stacks, you get quest stacks. And each auto attack reduces that cooldown, which is very crucial. You can get more Shadow Daggers off, which means you're reducing more armor. Like right there, that fight, we got 20. That's a 10% increase. A 10% increase on your damage for just doing normal things that you'd be doing anyway. It's fucking amazing. Okay? I honestly really like this build.
I'm listening.
Especially if they're going to have more than one hero that you can kind of keep this on. I mean, look, we're just shitting on him. I mean, we can kind of use that wave. Boom. 38 stacks. Each fight, we're getting almost 20 stacks of this. For almost nothing. I mean, granted, these are bots. Yes, they are bots, and they don't do a whole lot. But still. And with the reduced cooldown on mind control, it's ridiculous. Ridiculous. So we just keep kind of trade with him as well.
Excellent strike.
I mean, 51 stacks, 25% increased damage on 3 fights. 3 fights. Do you guys want to see something disgusting though? I totally just stumbled upon this by accident. So if you go hit the complete quest, you get the 9,001 stacks. 45,000 increased damage. Okay, watch this. Watch this shit. Come here, boy. I found that out by accident. I was like, I'm curious, how far can this quest go? because it's, you know, it's infinitely scaling, so they probably have it at some stupid high number. Like, it's so stupid.
I'm listening.
We can actually come and we can toggle the cooldowns, okay? Oh, I didn't want to attack you. We can toggle the cooldowns. See this boss? Who else can do this? Granted, you know, it's toggled cooldowns and a 9,000 stacked quest, but come on. Come on. That's ridiculous. I mean, in a normal game, you'll probably get it up to, I'd say anywhere between 100 and 200%. That's my guess. You'd get it somewhere in that range. More if they suck, less if they're better. But an average game, you'll probably get it between 100 and 200% increased damage, which still is really good for just nothing. You're doing that stuff anyway. Might as well just do increased damage. Let's just do it one more time for good measure. Okay. Alright, we're going to reset some talents. The other talent build that I was looking at was actually the Q build, and it's okay. I think overall it does, I think, the most consistent DPS from what I saw.
Choose a talent.
So again, we're going Merc Queen. We're going to go with the Barbed Shot, Mind Control, Wind Runner,
Choose a talent.
the Movement Speed, and then we're going to go with the Reduced Withering Fire cooldown.
Of course.
So what we do, again, we want to get those, make sure we get those 3 stacks. That's the most crucial part, is maintaining those stacks. I mean, look at that. That's still really good damage. And then you get that sweet movement speed, you get the increase to the spell power, the whole shebang, the whole 9 yards. Let's see if we can do it one more time to this guy. Show you guys how it's done again. The biggest thing about the new Sylvanas is making sure that you don't think that she's still the old Sylvanas. That was the hardest problem I had with her when I first picked her up for this. Was I was trying to play her like a specialist, and she's not anymore. She's going to be an assassin. So you have to get in the mind of the assassin when you play her. I have like hundreds of games as Sylvanas. She used to be the main character I would always play. One of my absolute favorites of all time. I love her. I got the statue right behind me. I love Sylvanas. I mean, I play Horde just for Sylvanas. I don't care she burned down a tree. It's great. This new build, sure, it's not the, you know, the old split push, turn off all the buildings every single shot build. And it's not Wailing Arrow anymore. I mean, Wailing Arrow is still good, but honestly, this Mind Control skill shot is kind of ridiculous. If you can hit it consistently, it's got a huge range. I mean, that's pretty fucking big. I mean, I can just kind of come out here. I mean, he's in my team. He's in the team. There's no stopping him. The team will fuck him. You kind of just go into a team fight, you pick out someone, pull him in, fuck him. It's pretty good. Overall, I know a lot of people aren't going to like this rework. I think it's actually not too bad. They took away a lot of the talents I liked, and they've kind of made it, like I said, so she's not a specialist because they're moving away from that. They've turned her into something unique, and I like that. She's not overpowered by any means. You're never going to get 9,000 stacks on that quest. Or you shouldn't, at least. If you do, you know, kudos. But honestly, that W build and this build are really good. The other build is really good too. This the trait build, pretty solid. I mean, 1% of their maximum health and damage. All these talents are good, and no one really, I don't think, is gonna expect Sylvanas to be like a top tier character. Sure, she's still got faults. She's squishy. She lacks like a decent escape. She's got to be really close. She's a short-ranged assassin. But her strengths and the utility she's going to bring is going to be amazing. So hopefully, hopefully this goes live. and people will finally be able to pick up Sylvanas and not have it be a troll pick. Because she's been one of those characters that I really love, and I haven't gotten to play a whole lot because she's just not in the meta right now. I don't even know if she ever was. But this makes her viable, I think. Especially having a hero with multiple build varieties. So good. It's so important for the hero because it gives you different options. And you can't just, say, oh, I'm going to pick, this talent and this talent, this talent, this talent, this talent, just because that's the only options. No, Sylvanas has options now, and that makes heroes like that incredible to play with. So that's going to be it for me today. We will take a look at the stitches as well. Be sure to, again, like, comment, and subscribe. We will be doing some PTR coverage, so hopefully I can get into some games before there's only 5 people in the lobbies. Until next time, thanks for watching. Hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the Nexus. Bye-bye.